With the season winding down, I figured now would be a good time to take you guys on a walk through my permaculture garden to see what we got going on in here, to show you the good, the bad, and the weird. My garden is 100% natural. I don't water my garden. We experienced some droughts, some heavy rains, but the garden took care of itself. No pest control, not even organic. Pest control in my garden is accomplished by friends like these and other beneficial insects. Nice work, buddy. I did one light dusting of fertilizer in June, organic fertilizer, but since then, the only fertilizer used in my garden is chop and drop from dead plants and a little bit of the chicken compost from the chicken run of the chicken composting system. When we last did a walk in June, I had someone comment saying that I had more pathways than plants, and I said, it's only June. So you can see where we're at now. We got a lot going on. So we're going to start at the front over here and work our way back. So these are going to go on the good list here. I have some cherry bomb tomatoes. These plants over here are 14 feet high and very productive. This one is trained over this trellis. The best part of these guys is they are blight resistant. I see a lot of people asking how do you stop blight, and there's a bunch of different ways people come up with. In the end, you can't defeat it. It lives in the soil. I grew some other different types of tomatoes and blight has taken them out. They're all heirlooms. So what did we learn? The only way to defeat blight is to plant blight resistant tomato varieties. And there are a lot of them. And although everybody wants to plant their favorite heirloom varieties, sometimes you can't always get what you want. They're dying back, but we had a lot of flowers in here. We got the nasturtiums. I really like how these giant marigolds turned out. We had a lot of forage in here, and you can see all the little seedlings popping up there. It's self-seeding pretty readily. Pretty much everything in my garden is interplanted. I even have some peas left over from spring that didn't die back that are still giving me new peas here. We've got beans just about everywhere we could fit them in. Zucchini mixed in the mess here. I was really surprised at how well the artichokes did. I don't actually harvest these to eat them. They make these really cool big purple flowers. I technically should not have even got flowers this year because these are biennials. I should have got flowers next year if they survive winter here in Zone 5B. But what I did was I planted them outside in April. We're exposed to temperatures as low as 22 degrees. And that tricks the plant into thinking it's older than it actually is. These guys aren't supposed to survive winter here, but we're going to see what happens. Here's one of the failures this year. We have the Romanesco broccolis. Plants got huge. No heads ever formed. I left them all summer. It's getting cooler out. I'm hoping maybe we're going to get some heads this fall. But you can see that the cabbage worms have decimated a lot of the leaves here. Same issue with all these kales I have planted here. But as it gets colder out, these worms are going to die off. We're going to cut all these bad leaves off, and we're going to get new leaves that form. That's fine because when I'm growing greens in here, it's usually not for me. I don't really eat them as much. It's more for just having endless chicken food. I can come through here every day, cut leaves off, and feed them to the chickens. It saves me money on chicken food, and since it's going back into the chicken composting system, it's going to help me grow the plants I do enjoy to eat. While I'm over here, I'm going to fertilize. This is what I do. I take the leaves off the plants, toss it on the ground. Fertilizer. Cucumbers did do really good. Gave us a lot of really big cucumbers. But you can see here, they're starting to die back. It is getting a little cold out. I don't remember putting these here, but I do have a lot of wine cap mushrooms popping up. Moving on. The bed where I grew my garlic, we had a really good garlic harvest this year. We're going to end up planting more garlic in here. And I had some giant sunflowers here, but they got knocked down by a storm. And then this guy popped up. These are just natural hybrids created by the bees and planted by the birds and the chipmunks. These gherkins have taken over this bed, along with a suyo long cucumber plant sprawling across the ground. Got random peas he put in the ground from the seeds from the older plants, along with some carrots mixed in. A lot of random interplanting going on here. All these white flowers are all radishes gone to seed. If I'm not filling a spot with beans, I'm planting radishes. The pollinators love these. We got peppers mixed in here, one of the beets I missed, and even a jalapeno underneath the canopy of this giant kohlrabi. Very productive. This area has been really good. This is where we started peas in the springtime and then followed up with planting some pole bean seeds to follow up behind them. So when they died back, the pole beans would take over. And these things are putting out a lot of beans. And then we threw some bush beans in the front of those. I planted loads of ground cherries. I never tried those before. This is what they look like when they're ripe. These things were fantastic. Definitely growing these again. It's like eating candy. And with all these guys falling on the ground here, I'm most likely going to get a lot of volunteers next year and probably won't even have to plant these. Volunteer tomatoes, not even staked up or anything, just growing across the ground. These things grew better than the ones that I intentionally planted. Got some eggplants. They did not do too great. I got one big eggplant off this guy. Then we have more peas over here. We just took the seeds off the dying plants here, just randomly popped them in the ground, and sure enough, we got peas growing. And even more beans here, just a wall of beans. I really need to get in here and start harvesting some of these guys. Here's some of my Peppergate peppers. Supposed to be Carolina Reapers. They are not Carolina Reapers. I got some yellows. I got some reds. I knew they were going to be hot, but I taste tested them anyway. They are super hot. Even if they're not Reapers, they're up there on the Reaper scale. This guy right here, we have this weird squash zucchini hybrid. Last year I had a volunteer squash pop up in my garden, and it got one fruit on it. And I kind of let it just sit in my garden over the winter and rot. And then in the springtime, my kid randomly took seeds and popped them in the ground all over the place. And it appears that that squash must have been cross-pollinated with the zucchinis nearby. So now we have this weird kind of squash-kini thing going on here. There's a cottonwood tree growing in my garden. It was 12 inches tall. Now it's about 5 feet tall. I just let it grow. I'm probably going to chop it down. I don't think we need a cottonwood growing in the garden. Here's some radishes the size of softballs. Clear this guy out so we can get a look at it. Big radish. Free chicken food. Some more big zucchinis mixed in here. We can't really look over here too much because I don't have garden pass anymore. Everything has grown over the pass, but we got some okra here. I got some more zucchinis and ground cherries, more peppers. This area here, I have not walked over here in several weeks. We have a yellow jacket nest over there, and they do not like it when you get too close. So we'll clean up that mess when the yellow jackets are gone. Got a big old comfrey growing in here, right by some borage. We do have some cucumbers in here, and then look at all that. That's a lot of wine cap mushrooms. We don't look at this area as much. This is my perennial area. Lots of chamomile in here. Bunch of currants. More borage and tarragon. This wild sunflower here that decided it was going to grow horizontally instead of vertically. But that looks pretty cool. This thing didn't even fall over, and it's just loaded with tons of flowers. These are all true comfreys right here. This is going to be a rhizome barrier because I got a lot of quack grass in here that I don't want coming through. Now I told myself I was going to go through here and take off all these flowers because with the true comfrey, it can spread by seed. But I decided, you know what? I think this year I'm going to let some of these flower and go to seed, make this really thick because I'll be able to use all this for chop and drop. Since I don't disturb the soil, they're not going to be moving anywhere but in here. I told myself I was going to weed the asparagus this season to at least get the queen's lace out of here. But in the process of doing so, I found another yellow jacket's nest. So that's going to have to wait. Most of the stuff in this area is perennials, so we're planting for the future basically. Got some honeyberries, raspberries, blueberries. We've got a mess of June bearing strawberries going through here, sending out runners everywhere. I've been chopping these off and they just keep growing. I'm propagating some of them so we can move them somewhere else. Here's one of my apple trees from seed, doing pretty good. It's about 2.5 foot tall now. Kind of mixed in with this weird guild I got going on. We got some broccoli in there, we got some beans, a squash, we got some jalapenos growing out here and some ground cherries. And then once again, we are loaded with wine cap mushrooms just about everywhere. I've added several grapevines to the garden and loads of comfrey. We got some Backing 4 here. We got some Backing 14s in here mixed in with all these apple trees. The apple trees get chop and drop, which is convenient because comfrey is great for that. Since this is the first year, I did not do much chop and drop, but occasionally I'll take some leaves, toss them on the ground to feed my trees. Other weeds pop up, I just pile them around the trees and they like it. I'm really gonna incorporate more chives mixed in here. They grew pretty good in these wood chips. Got some walking onions that I bought off eBay. I took the bulblets off the top and planted them down low. So you can see I have free onions out of the plants I bought. Another mess of gherkins over here. This is what the gherkins look like when they're ready. There's a lot of gherkins in here. They taste pretty good. I didn't know they stayed this small, but they taste like a sweet cucumber. Started some gooseberries here. Here's my old compost piles. This has hundreds of tomato plants growing out of it. I'm going to get rid of these and empty out the compost. I'm just going to use the chickens as compost from now on. I got some potatoes growing out of there. This is pretty cool. I took some onions that were sitting in my basement and they started growing out of the onion. I took it and split it kind of the same way you'd split up garlic, and I got about 6 or 7 different plants from one big onion. Now, I don't think they're going to form full onions. Did form these big flowers on here, and they look pretty cool. They're about 4 foot tall, some of them. Chocolate mint I bought off eBay. It was just 4 little plants, and it's spread out very nice. And here's the pond I did a video on a couple months ago. Everything here is pretty natural. I did take some ornamental grasses from the front of the house, split them up because they grow nice and tall there. I'll probably add some more back in there. But the pond's doing awesome. It's loaded with tadpoles, and there are dozens and dozens of frogs in here. I like to come through here and grab some Japanese beetles and see if the frogs are hungry. I just throw the Japanese beetles onto the water, and eventually all the frogs will see them and go eat them all. you missed. These were my wine cap mushroom beds and mushroom composting system. You can see, highly productive. We have a lot of mushrooms that formed in here. I've been very lazy on the harvesting, so there's mushrooms everywhere. Some elderberries along here, some rhubarb, got a lot of the goldenrod popping up that I let grow. Pretty much just trying to fill in spaces with plants here and slowly defeat the weeds. Got some geraniums. I got a lot of room to work with in these areas. This is a little bit shadier, so braid some berries that can deal with the shade. But I do have a lot of space here that does get a lot of sun, so we'll probably put some more blueberries in here, maybe some more raspberries. This whole side's more like a work in progress. I want to take some of the stuff I bought and propagate it instead of buying new plants. To some people, this may seem kind of chaotic, kind of messy, but it's intentionally chaotic, and everything in here is useful for medicine, plants that help other plants. I'm a nature guy, so I just like how natural all this feels. Season's winding down, everything's starting to die back, but I'm really satisfied at what I was able to accomplish in just 1 year of no-till permaculture. If you've been thinking about starting your own food forest or just growing no-dig in general, I highly recommend it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.